villagers have a wide variety of professions and activities, and when spread across villages, they become lively communities full of life. But what if they didn't live in a village? Rather a castle. Join me and my foxy friend Millie as we set out to build a cozy Minecraft castle that can house every single villager and their professions. Today we're going to be building a gigantic castle for every villager. But first we need to build one single bed for me so that I can take a nap, and probably some tools and food. You know the drill, so let's get all of this done. Alright, that seems like there's some sheep over here, and there's also some cows and pigs, but I think I'm going to leave them alone and just grab the sheep. Okay, I think we have a decent setup, so let's get some sleep, and then we can get rolling on our castle where we are going to fit every villager with every profession. Every single one. Definitely not a daunting task at all. I spent the next couple of days underground getting iron tools and armor. Then I began the huge task of gathering stone and deep slate. While I was gathering deep slate though, I managed to find some diamonds to upgrade my pickaxe, which made the job go much faster. Once that was done, I picked up some extra coal and iron, and then collected a ton of azalea leaves, dirt, and coarse dirt before heading back. Okay, so the first thing that I want to get sorted is the foundation for the whole castle properly, because if I don't get some sort of layout now, I am going to get lost in this build. I spent a lot of time before filming this kind of sketching out how I wanted the different rooms to fit, so hopefully this foundation will make it easier to figure out what's going on when we get into the thick of it. So now that we have our layout slash foundation, I'm pretty confident that I can get going with the frame. A moment for my ankles, please. Ouch. So I think 8 tall for this room should be fine. And then on the corners here, we're gonna go for 6. I should be careful because I've got quite a lot left to build, and this is the only food that I have. And I'm not planning on building a farm for a little bit, so yeah. Should probably get myself a water bucket to save my ankles and my food supply. I don't know why, jumping into water just doesn't hit the same. It feels like it takes longer, I guess because I get stuck in the water a little bit, but I guess it saves my ankles, so I can't complain too much. Alright, looking good so far. I think I'm going to bring this bit like way up here, but we will deal with that once we've got the rest of the frame done. So this bit here is going to be like a corridor, I guess. Not even I guess, just literally a corridor to the next room. Anyways, as I was saying, this is going to be a corridor, and I think I'm going to wait right until the end to actually fill in all the stuff that isn't related. So like the corridors and just the in-between rooms are going to be empty until probably the final details. Millie, please stop doing that. Okay, the frame is getting there, but I am officially out of food. So I've run around and got some seeds, and I'm just going to make a little tiny makeshift farm here just so I can get myself through the next few days. I do have plans to build a farm, but I don't want to do it prematurely because like I got to get all the frames and the walls and everything done first before I start building everything for the villagers. So just doing this little makeshift farm here should get me through, and then we can get back to building the frames and the walls and the roofs, and that is so annoying that I have to like reach out here to refill my bucket. Thank goodness for the watering can, to be honest. Anyways, back to building these frames. I don't have the most food ever, but obviously I can go back and get more at any time now. And why did I just break everything I just built up? I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. And oh, I also have left my water bucket in my chest. So, was that even 8? I didn't count the second time. All right, well, that was 7, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was 7. Okay. Okay. Starting to look a little bit more castle-y now, especially since I've added in that first tower. I think I just need to bring up this second part a bit taller and also add a couple other towery bits. So let's get on that. Building the frame for a whole castle feels so weird. Like, I'm so used to working on multiple smaller builds, section by section, but this is like taking all of those individual builds I'd usually make and merging them into one massive structure. In fact, it's not like that. It is literally that. It's kind of overwhelming right now, but it's going to be so sick at the end, so I'm just getting through it. I think it also feels strange because you don't get that immediate payoff of finishing a build and then moving on to the next one. You have to wait until the whole thing is built to be like, yay, I did something cool. Although that being said, this stage does look really cool. All right, foundation and frame complete, which has made almost a foolproof guide for the walls. So let's get those done. Gosh, again, doing this section feels really strange because I'm just so used to a build being finished much faster than this. And then let's get back to filling in all of these walls. All right, we are looking pretty good for walls being filled in on this side. This side, not so much. Okay, nice. We are getting there, slowly but surely. So, as I said, roofs are the next step, and if you know me, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the roof stage at the best of times. So, let's see how I get on with this many roofs all in one go. Like, usually I can pace myself, but this is just back-to-back roofing. I'm hoping that tackling them all at once will feel good in the sense that I'm getting every roof I could possibly need to build out of the way right now, but there's also a very real chance that I lose my mind halfway through. Either way, we are committed now, so let's get all of these roofs done. All right, that roof was actually pretty straightforward, so now I've just got to somehow attach this. Maybe we'll take this one out and just do this for now, because I need to bring this part down to this level, so hopefully that looks good. And then easily enough, we should be able to just run across with stairs like this, join it up to this part, and it should look like it's all, well, joining up and matching. What do I do about this bit? Does that really need anything doing about it? No, probably not. So that's the roof of the first tower done, but I feel like it just is a little bit blocky. So I'm hoping that if I add in a bunch of these walls, it will look a little bit less blocky. And I know this is Minecraft and everything is literally blocky, but I don't know. I feel like this will give it more of that like pointy tower look. Okay, yeah, I feel like that definitely made a difference adding all of the walls. I'm gonna fill this next roof in with a mix of polished deep slate and cobbled deep slate stairs because I don't want it to feel too repetitive, since just cobbled deep slate for every roof might start looking a little bit flat and boring. So mixing in the polished deep slate should break it up just enough to keep things interesting. I think the contrast between the smooth and rough blocks will make the roof stand out in just the right way. Now all that's left is to see how many times I misplace these stairs before I get it right. You know, I feel like this whole time I've only misplaced like 2 or 3 stairs, and that's pretty good going for me as I misplace a stair. Make that 3 or 4 misplaced stairs, I guess. But still, I'm pretty happy with that result. Okay, let's get down from this roof safely. Whoa, I love that you can just barely see the texture from here, but I promise it was worth it. All right, back to the plain old cobbled deep slate. All right, final stretch. This should be the last part of roof that we have to fill in. I'm not saying that I have been converted to a roof lover, but I will say this wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be, and it is kind of comforting to know that I don't have to build another roof after this, so I guess a win is a win. Does anyone else feel like this is giving Hogwarts? Either way, I am super happy with how those roofs turned out. And is that Millie? It is! She looks so sweet just sleeping there. Better that she's sleeping than jumping in front of my blocks when I'm trying to place them. That's for sure. Good morning, Millie. Hi. Oh, she's so sweet. I set out again armed with some shears for wool and some more leaves. As I went, I picked up flowers along the way, and I stopped at a village for some flower pots, realized that wasn't enough, and then dug some clay to craft some more. In that village though, I snagged some hay bales, a composter, and a couple barrels. Once that was done, I picked up some more wood and a bunch more stone before I was ready to head back. Am I doing exterior details today because I couldn't stand to look at a naked castle anymore? Maybe, but that is my business, and I guess also yours actually, since this is on YouTube. But still, we have to make it cute. And honestly, it just makes sense to get all the exterior details done before I get carried away with interiors, because let's be real, once I start decorating the inside, I will spiral in a positive way. Like, if I jumped into interiors first, I'd probably just spend hours perfecting every little corner and then suddenly remember, oh yeah, the outside exists. So, logical order. Exterior first, then I can go wild with the cozy castle vibes inside. Since I feel like the roof texturing didn't quite have the effect I wanted, I want to add some more dimension to these parts by adding some of these fancy brick walls. They're a little bit thinner than the other brick walls, but when I get to the double wide parts, you'll see that they're a little bit fancier than normal walls. That is so cute. They are the best of friends. Anyways, back to placing these lovely walls with, did you know they have metal bits between them? Okay, yeah, I feel like this is it. This is what the roof needed right there. Very cool. Okay, next part. Just gonna add in some fence details to each side of these types of areas like I did up here. Just feel like it adds a little bit more and can I get past this safely? Oh, I can. Okay, good. Sorry, did I even finish my sentence right then? I feel like I didn't. Oh yeah, I was saying I feel like it just adds a little bit more dimension. Okay, I think the only thing left to do is to add in some leaves like we did over here. And that should be our exterior details done, which means we can get started on some interiors soon. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. Well, actually, technically it does. We're going to do the interior layout, but we're not going to actually decorate yet. After we've done the interior layout, we're going to build a farm so that I can stop using the tiny thing that I built earlier. And then we can get to work on some interiors, I think. Honestly, I'm trying really hard to stick to the plan, but I do just want to start decorating right away. Anyways, I am absolutely loving how this has turned out, and I'm absolutely regretting not waiting till morning to get up here, because now there's a lot of scary things to dodge as I try and make it back to my bed. Okay, it seems like I'm pretty safe. These guys haven't spotted me, but also look at this. I love how that is reflecting in the water. Hopefully I don't get spotted any further. Oh, I'm definitely getting spotted by this guy. Sorry guys, don't have time for you today. Okay, so if we go inside a second, it is just one big old space, although I guess a couple big old spaces, but big old empty spaces are fine if open concepts are your thing. But we have a lot of villagers to fit in here, so I think we should go through, add some floors and definitely some lighting so these guys don't bother me any further. So let's start with this easy little corridor. I have blocked off both doorways for now because there are scary things both sides. Millie is going to be fine. She's going to be able to get out through this gap here. So I'm just going to ignore the fact that she's, as usual, hiding underneath my build. Okay, now let's get these lights put up in here just to make sure this part doesn't start getting filled with scary stuff. So let's just take a little peek in here, see what we've got going on. I'm going to say that's deceiving. Oh, that's not too bad. Let's just deal with these guys while we can. Oh my goodness, I thought that lag there was going to cost me part of my build. Why is it doing that? God, that was scary. No idea what that noise I just made was. Please ignore that. I don't like how they're moving. Why are they moving like that? Okay, something's going on. 1 second. Okay, I think my PC was just having a bit of a moment. I think it was just so impressed with my build so far that it was just, you know, breaking down. Anyways, let's get this floor filled in. Okay, I do plan on breaking this up into more rooms, but for now, I think we're good. I love these windows and how the light's coming through and everything about this, honestly. Okay, I was going to fill in the other rooms, but this little sunbeam here dragged me back in here, and I decided I'm just going to sort out the room layouts right now before I move on to do anything else. I feel like it would be weird to have the rooms go all the way up to here. So how tall do I want these rooms is the question. I guess we'll just go off of this and hope that that looks good. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this layout is going to work. So now I can go across this with all of these spruce planks, and this will create a second floor. Although, admittedly, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to put in this big room up here, but I have ideas for these little ones, so that is good enough, at least for now. I feel like it's all well and good planning out a build, but it also often is the case that the drawn plans don't line up with the actual plans of Minecraft. So sometimes you just gotta build based on vibes only. Anyways, let's get this second floor filled in. To be honest, even though I don't have a specific plan for this room just yet, I do plan on using it at least as like a throughway. Is that even a word? A throughway? Anyway, just like a path into, I think, this build here. Okay, I was correct. So probably a good idea to make sure all of this is lit up so that when I do get to that point of connecting all of these rooms, there won't be anything scary for us. Can I reach up there? No, of course I can't. Okay, this should be the last room that I need to mark out. Let's add in some lanterns. So again, nothing scary spawns up here. Oh, I only have 3. That's fine though. Hopefully is enough light. Now let's get down here. And and I'm gonna deal with this area later, so let's just slowly walk away. I feel like every good castle should be self-sufficient and at least have a little farm, so we're gonna make one and give it to the farmer to manage. But before we build the actual farm, we're gonna build a little farmhouse, if you could call it a farmhouse. It's just a house that the farmer's gonna live in. But yeah, it just seems logical to build the house before the farm to make sure there's space for everything. Although, as you can see, this isn't the world's biggest house. I do feel a little bit bad because the villager that lives here is gonna be, well, living in just a normal villager house, basically, whilst all of the other ones are going to be living it up in the big old castle. Although, you know what? The farmer might just be a little bit of a loner and they might enjoy living on their own in a little tiny house outside of the castle. At least with this much smaller house, the roof is also just way easier. Although, maybe not easier, just less to do, which technically makes it easier. All right, now let's get some leaves covering this entire thing as usual. And then for details, let's add in a few hay bales and also some lighting. I might have to hang the light off of this bit just because there is a hay bale in the way, but that's absolutely fine. Let's add in a couple fences here and then a couple of lanterns. And I think that is our little farmhouse done. Super simple, but fits its purpose. We can also finally get rid of our little tiny farm because we're going to build something way better. Okay, and now we're good to mark out a little area where we're going to put this farm. I'm not going to put a wall all the way around this thing because I want it to be super accessible, but obviously having a slight border makes it just look more put together. There's just something so relaxing about tilling the land. Like the super satisfying sound, the perfectly neat rows forming. Not that I'm personally doing this in neat rows, but when it's all tilled, it will be neat rows, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's one of those mindless little tasks that lets you just zone out and enjoy the process. And honestly, I feel like I could do it for hours. Actually, that may be a bit of an exaggeration, but something equally as relaxing is planting the seeds in that freshly tilled soil. Just zooming around, filling in every row, watching the field go from empty dirt to something that will soon be full of lush crops. Just an overall lovely experience. All right, now that the farm part is done, it's time to decorate our interior, which obviously is a very small interior, so it shouldn't take us too long, but it's just a little taste of how much interior planning I have to come. Let's add our door. And of course, let's add our composter, which is the block that's going to actually turn our villager into a farmer. Speaking of which, let's go get our first villager. So we're at the nearby village and these two guys here are farmers, so I don't think it would be too wrong to just steal one of them. Most people would have some crazy contraption to transport all of the villagers, but for me, I have this pickup mod, which I didn't intend on being used this way, but it has been super helpful for these kinds of moments, so can't complain. Technically, the only complaint I could possibly have is that it makes me walk slower, but all in all, not the worst thing ever. Okay. Enjoy. Welcome to your new home. Oh my gosh. I think he's trying to fight me. Okay, I'm actually a little concerned. Why is he running away? Where are you going? Maybe he's just checking out his new home. You know what? Fair enough. I would do the same thing. So I've situated this castle on a lake because I wanted to have a boathouse so that the castle residents would have somewhere to get their water and also so that I could stick the fishermen here. So that's part of the dock filled in. Obviously looking, ouch, a little bit crazy right now because I've opted to do campfires instead of just slabs all the way down, just to make it look a little bit more interesting and apparently way more dangerous. Let's do 1, 2, 3 tall, add in a couple of these, and then hang a lantern. Super, super simple. And now let's just do the same on the end here, and we should be good for lighting. To be honest, since I'm planning to build the house here, I feel like I should probably bring the dock out a little bit more, so let me just add a few more blocks. I feel like I do that so often. I just don't even look at what block I have in my hand and start placing. All right, now let's get to work on our little boathouse. I'm going to keep it super simple and small like I did with the farmhouse, just because I have a lot of work to do and I feel like I've already built enough big structure for this video. Oh, actually, let me take out these corners and we're going to replace them with some spruce wood. Now let's add these spruce logs all the way around the bottom and strip them all. Oh, that is not my axe in my hand. Just as well, that's what I was planning on filling these walls in with. I've gone for a bit of a funkier roof on this one. Let me know what you think. Actually kind of looks like a face, like 2 eyes, mouth, and then a little hairdo. Anyways, let's get to work on these interiors. Obviously there isn't a bunch of interior to work with, but we can work with anything. I'm also thinking we take out a couple of these blocks. So sorry, Millie, I just hit you with an axe. Please don't arrest me. And then we'll take out this, and then we'll put in some little barrel decorations. Obviously, we have the barrel inside already, but yeah, I think it needs it. So I've got this kind of barrel, and I've also got a few of these different types of barrels that still work exactly the same. They won't work for villagers, but it doesn't matter because we only need one barrel. Millie, that was my only one like that. Now I have to go make more. Anyways, let's add a few more barrels and then we can get to work on the inside. So even though we have the barrels outside, I'm still going to place a couple in here and try and make it look like a little desk area. Then over here, I'm going to do a little double draw moment and then add some flower pots. Sorry, I had to go get another pot. Completely forgot that I needed 2. And then we can put our bed down here. If Millie could just not get in the way, that would be great. And then let's add this little rug. And I think that might be this interior done. Also, look at this door that I changed it to. How fun is that? Actually, I'm going to put a couple item frames up here and I will put a fishing rod in one of them, but I want to see if I can just catch a fish to add in to one of the item frames. It will probably be a piece of cod or maybe salmon or something, but it will still be a fish and that's all we need. Oh, it's a tropical fish. Nice. Perfect. So this guy doesn't have a job yet. It's so hard to run and talk to you guys at the same time because this guy's big head gets in the way. Anyways, as I was saying, I hope he takes to this job block really easily, finds his bed, and I hope both him and the farmer stay at the castle with ease. Okay, immediately. Fisherman. Nope. Why? Oh, is that fisherman? Oh, it is. Okay, never mind. I thought that he just turned himself into a farmer. Speaking of the farmer, I wonder where he's at because I feel like, well, maybe I should check the farm first, but I feel like he didn't return. Good morning. Is this maybe too blocked? That might be a thing. All right, well, I've done a full top to bottom search of this place, just doing my little run around, and I still can't find the villager. So where has he gone? Oh, excuse me? So where have you been? He does not seem interested in talking to me. Where have you been? Okay, well, I'll leave you to it. Anyways, that's our little fishing house done. I think it's time to head out for some more materials. I topped off my stone and iron, some of which I used to craft an anvil. Then I set out looking for everything I needed to create a grindstone, blast furnace, and a smoker. Once that was done, I gathered more spruce wood, looked at the stone I had, decided that wasn't enough, and got some more. I then gathered everything I needed for a stove, as well as some wool, before finally heading back. So the notion here is that the blacksmith, armorer, and weaponsmith are all going to share the castle's armory. I feel like all of these professions would work really well together to create and maintain armor for castle knights. If we had any knights, that is. Maybe iron golems? I'm hoping that they're able to find their job block easily despite it being behind a campfire, but if not, I've got a couple extras to put around the place anyway. So where to start? So I wanted to make the fire a little bit more like fireplacey, so I've added the iron bars, but that makes me think that the villagers definitely aren't going to be able to get to the blast furnaces, so let's just put a couple up here, and I still think that looks fine with the whole fireplace vibe. Then over here I have these super cute drawers, and then maybe let's do 2 here and 2 here. Okay, I feel like that's good. Then right here I'm thinking we use these kind of cabinets, which kind of look more like a workbench, and then on this side we'll do the crafting table and then the anvil this side. And I also have this really cool placeable axe thing, which I think just fits the vibe of this room in general. Okay, I'm scared that this guy's gonna come in here and change professions. I really hope he doesn't. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I am scared right now. Okay, that makes that look a lot better and more like a whole unit. Let's add in a couple chests right here, and then on the other side, maybe on this side we'll just do a single chest, and then add a lantern here instead. Then up here I was thinking we do another little shelf moment. Why I don't have my axe in my hotbar, I don't know. So let's just do stairs like that, and then spruce slabs along the top. Super simple, nothing fancy. And then we'll do a few more chests up here. And I guess we could put a barrel up here because it would be far enough away for the villagers not to be affected by it, right? Okay, actually I feel like that looks a little bit better. I just shifted this over a bit and then made this a little bit shorter. Millie, what are you doing in the fire? Oh my goodness, get out of there. What is wrong with her? I'm so glad that isn't actually hurting her because I think that would be incredibly traumatic. I'm just going to leave her in there for now. What are you doing? All right, I feel like that's looking really good so far. I'm planning to put some armor stands up here and then either side of the fire since, you know, this is the armory after all. So all that's left to do other than that is to place our cauldron and our grindstone. And I might have been keeping a little secret from you guys. However, as much as I would love to keep this diamond armor, I did get it for decorational purposes only. So I hope you guys really appreciate that. At this point, I'm used to being so cautious with just my iron armor that I don't even need diamond armor. And speaking of iron armor, I did get a spare set to also just use for decorational purposes and also a very cute leather set. Maybe I should run around in this instead. Although I'd probably die for real, so... Oh, I forgot to put the boots on. What just happened? Oh, the ones I'm holding in my hand, they are my boots. Anyways, I think that is our armory done, so let's go get some villagers. I'm not sure if these guys will just naturally gravitate towards a job, so let me just put this guy down and see where he goes. Okay, so he looks like he's become the leather worker, which is great, but I think the other ones are going to gravitate towards this too, because it's literally right by the door, so I'm going to have to grab the other ones and put them down right next to the block that I want them to become. So let's put this guy near the blast furnace. No, where are you going? What are you doing? No, where are you going? Okay, yeah, I forgot I can just pick these guys up. No idea where he thinks he's going though. Maybe we'll put him next to the grindstone. This guy does not want a job. Don't you dare. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave these guys to talk it out, and then I'm gonna go get another villager. How are these guys still talking? It's literally sounds. Are they kissing? Are you guys together? Cute. Anyways, let's try this. Please go. Hello? No. Why are they not getting the jobs like they're meant to? Okay, I've attempted by putting that on the floor, and that looks like that's what needs to happen. I have to put all of them on the floor? Okay, well, I guess I do. I do like these really different stone brick blocks that I got, but I think I can probably get away with replacing those with blast furnaces, and then hopefully this guy will get a job. No? Not interested? You know what? I don't blame him. Okay, there we go. This one worked. We now have our armorer, our weaponsmith, and our leather worker, I think. Or is that the wrong way around? I don't know, but they're all here. They're all sleeping. They're all here to stay. Hopefully, I need to go take a nap myself. Oh, actually, before I go, I should probably introduce myself. I am Em. This is my castle. You are welcome to live and stay and work here. Please let me know if there is anything you need. If I was these guys, I would be so cheesed that someone is just letting their fox run all over my bed and talking to me whilst I'm trying to sleep. So, oh no, that's not what we want to happen. Oh no. Get out of the block. What is going on? Okay, I should probably put some doors or something on this room, right? Okay, how cool are those? I feel like they fit the vibe of this part very, very well. Hopefully those are fine. I should probably put a couple lights in here though, because I feel like this might be a breeding ground for scary guys. So, yep, I'm going. Good night. So the next room I want to tackle is the kitchen where we are stashing the butcher. I feel like the butcher would double as the castle cook. So I'm just going to mark out where everything's going to go, and then we can start adding in some details. So I say that as I'm technically adding a detail, but pretend you didn't see that. Do I put the cabinets on this level or this level? I feel like this level, because it's such a tall room that if I do it lower, then I feel like it'll make the room feel really weird and short. So let's leave it like that, and then let's also add a couple cabinets up here, maybe join it up to the wall, and I think that's a pretty good layout. I'm gonna add the sink to this little center thing, and since this is a big castle, I feel like we need a double sink. There's gonna be a lot of dishes, and then I'm thinking here will be like a little shelf type system. Do I want that on that level? Because if I put that there, then I can't put stuff here, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I want to put there first before we start moving stuff around. Oh, that is so cute. Now let's cover up these little hood things because they do look a little bit ugly. Then I'm going to put down the smoker for the villagers, and then a stove just for the aesthetics because I like that this one lights up and has a fire and whatnot. So that's quite a good layout for the kitchen. Do we need some more shelves? Maybe. Let's put a couple more up here. I could technically bake some bread that I could place for details here, but it's just much quicker to make campfires. So that is exactly what I've done. Let me get up here. I feel like the process of baking bread that I can place is just way too much. I feel like they kind of pass as stacked bread, right? Well, even if they don't, I'm leaving it like that because I think it looks cute. I do, however, have this cake and this cooking pot, which I think, or maybe I should take a few slices out. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay, that looks cute. So I think technically I should leave this corner empty just for, you know, like ease of movement. But I also want to add like a little fireplace here. So let me go get some bricks and hopefully we can make a little corner cooking area situation. Let's do these this way. Then we can put here and then fireplace here. Maybe we need to add in some trapdoors too, because I feel like this is a little bit of a danger. So do we have any of these left over? No, of course we don't. Why would we? And then let's add a hanging pot and hopefully that looks like a little something cooking up over there. And I think that's pretty much the kitchen done. We do need to find a villager to come and work here, but I'm wondering if the guys in the armory will produce a child to work in the kitchen. And I think to do that, oh, they're already in bed. I think I need to feed them bread for them to, you know, for them to want to be interested in doing that. But it seems maybe not. Maybe carrots? Or maybe I can just throw them a piece of bread each. Will they eat that? Oh yeah, okay. They are interested. You guys eat up. Just giving you all of my bread here, guys. No worries. It looks like they want to get out. Should I let them out? I probably should, right? Okay, guys. Out you go. Good morning. Well, now they look all confused. I thought you wanted to go out. All right, well, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Hopefully you bring me a new worker. But for now, let's move on to the next room. Okay, I lied. I need to go and get more materials. I set out with a rather hefty list. I turned over the farm and used that to make hay bales. Then I spent some time gathering spruce, oak, dark oak, and wool. I then gathered more stone, iron, and coal. I then set out on the ridiculous task of sourcing some job blocks. Specifically a stone cutter, a loom, a lectern, a fletching table, and a smithing table. Once that was done, I gathered everything I needed for books and eventually chiseled bookshelves and regular bookshelves. Lastly, I remembered to pick up some dirt and craft a couple of target blocks. So in this area here that I said I would finish off later, I'm going to put a stable because the shepherd needs a job and the butcher needs animals to butcher. So naturally, the answer is to build a stable. This one should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to add in these stairs right here to mimic like a feeding trough or a water trough, I should say. Obviously, I need to still fill it with water. And then I can just add some hay bales right here. And then in this corner, I'm going to do a couple cabinets and then I'll loom in the middle with a couple of shelves right here for some chests. Oh, and we should probably add a door too. Why does that sound like a cow, kind of? Anyways, the only thing is I don't really want to put a bed in the stable because I'm also going to put a bunch of sheep in here. So I guess we could get up here and maybe make a way for the villagers to get up here and have like a bed situation. Okay, this room is way nicer than what's going on down here. I'm kind of thinking it might be good to have like a dorm room type situation where there's just loads of beds up here because I don't know how many other rooms are going to have opportunities for beds. My only question is, will the villagers be able to find their beds up here? I'm not sure, especially if their profession is like on the other side of the castle, but I feel like we're in like a good enough radius for them to be able to find their beds. Worst case scenario, I guess they just all share the 3 beds that are in the armory, but that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 beds. We could fit another one in there and maybe another one right here and also another one right here. And why not another one right here and another one right here? They should be able to find that, right? Definitely not the most attractive room, but the villagers are fussy. They won't sleep on fancy beds and also I don't know. I feel like if I put other blocks in there, it's going to cause problems. So let's just look at what we've got going on down here. Super duper simple. We're going to have to go get some sheep and a villager. Once again, I've made the arduous journey to drag a villager back here. Hopefully he takes to his job pretty well. All right, where are you going, sir? I need you to look at the loom and then you can check out your bed. Okay, I know it's lovely. You can sleep with all of your friends here. Oh, and would you look at that? He's taken to his loom pretty well, I'd say. All right, well, I think you'll love your new home here. Let me know if you need anything. I've got some more rooms to decorate. Actually, I know it's not technically needed, but I should probably add some sheep to our stable. All right, I hope you guys enjoy your stay too. And let's get to work on this room. So the castle forge. This is where I'm going to be sticking the toolsmith and the mason. I feel like they would need to access all of the stuff that forges offer, and any castle worth their salt should have one, in my opinion. I feel like this room would have more of a stone floor. Did I just hear a cat? Was that you, Millie? It is a cat. I am so glad this isn't 100 days, because if this happened in 100 days, I would not have time to go searching for a little kitten. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, hello. Let me look at you. Okay, fine. I'll go back to building. Ooh, you're not looking too good, sir. You've been protecting us pretty hard, it looks like. Right, what do you want? I'm so sorry. I'm really busy right now. I can't do that for you. See you later. Anyways, before I got distracted by the sound of a cat, I was saying that I feel like the floor of this place would be more stony, but I also want it to be cohesive with the rest of the castle and still have that like warmth to it, because the walls are obviously all stone. So I'm just going to cut out this little area in front of the fireplace and then turn that to andesite and cobblestone. And then we'll still have all this extra area with the wood to look all cozy. Alright, that's the fireplace area looking good. Now let's get down some of our villager blocks. So let's do a double helping of the smithing table, just because, just for symmetry's sake, basically. I'm wondering if I place it... Nope. I thought maybe they're directional. They weren't. Never mind. Anyways, let's add in our couple cabinets. And then over here, we're going to do a cabinet here. Let's put our stone cutter on the floor. And then I'm going to add my mason table, which I know they won't use, but it fits this room very nicely. So just gifting that to them. And then I want to add these item frames because I'm going to put some tools in there. So now I'm thinking we go for a few shelves and we'll put some like little barrels and lanterns and stuff on them. And then maybe a shelf right here. And I wonder if I can get away with covering over the top of this stone cutter, or if the villager's going to get upset about that. But I feel like that makes it look more like a complete cabinet. Okay, I know this block has absolutely nothing to do with this room, but I feel like it fits because it's all, I don't know, like metally and stuff. I also have these flower pots, which I think I can get away with having them look like little mini barrels, because when you're down here, you can't see in the top of them. So I feel like that works quite well. Then over here, I'm going to put this lying down barrel and then one of these. Okay, love how that's coming together. Maybe we could do something like this and then use a bunch of wall blocks to fill in this little gap. Yeah, okay. Let me go get my stone bricks and make some stone brick walls. Okay, nice. I feel like that filled that in really well. What can we put over here? I think maybe we need another one of these barrels and then maybe another cooking pot. Okay, looking good. To be honest, I added these chains for just like general vibes, I guess, but I feel like maybe like, I feel like using them for some lighting and also maybe like a hanging shelf. Let me just add these trapdoors and see what I can do. Maybe a chest in the middle here just to break up all of the spruciness. I'm also hoping this wooden cauldron doesn't affect the villagers. I don't think it will because it's wooden, but it fits the vibe in here. And oh yeah, lanterns. All right, I would say that is our forge completed. Very cute, actually. Now to go get ourselves a villager. Still no baker. Is it baker? There is no baker, but technically there would be a baker because of the bakery mod. Where am I going? What the heck? Did one of these guys kill an enderman? Wow, I guess that's gonna come in handy. I probably should have used that for something better. All right, Mr. Villager, here is your new home. And who are you? No, come back. I actually can't tell if that guy is the stone mason or the smithing guy. I'm gonna assume he's that guy, but why is this guy not turning into the guy? Okay, it seems like this guy just really wants to... Who are you? Okay, those villagers must have produced more villagers. I wonder if we can make this guy a baker. We can! Okay, that's actually really cool. That's an unexpected addition, but I love it. But that does mean we need to get another guy to become our smithing guy. Okay, nice. We have our stone cutter and we have our toolsmith. Perfect. Okay, on to the Fletcher. There's really no other reason for me putting the Fletcher in the courtyard other than I saw a period piece where people were practicing archery in a castle courtyard one time, and now my brain just goes, the courtyard is where the arrows belong. All right, that is looking pretty good so far, but I feel like we could benefit from some extra details in here. So I'm going to build up these sort of corner bits here, just with a bunch of these blocks, and then also add in some walls here and there. And hopefully it just makes it look a little bit more interesting out here. I do not like the sound of Millie like nomming something. What is she eating? I hope it's not the cats. That's not a thing, right? I mean, this cat seems fine. You see what I mean though? It's no longer just a plain little flat wall area. It's actually got a little bit of something going on, even though it's not entirely clear what that something is. Oh, and to be honest, I should probably add like a sort of gate situation to this place. So then in the middle here, we'll just do one. Do we bring this out so it looks like the gates are open? Okay, I'm not entirely sold right now, but let me just get rid of that and we will make the decision afterwards. Because we still got a lot of stuff to do in here. Okay, a lot of stuff to do here may have been a little bit dramatic, but we do have to plant a bunch of flowers and actually place the fletching table business. So let's just get this part out of the way first, which is arguably the most fun part. I absolutely love planting type tasks in Minecraft. I also feel like this grass needs a little bit of extra grass, if that makes sense. I could just bone meal the floor, but I don't want to ruin the whole roses and poppy thing that we've got going on, so I'll just plant the grass manually. Let's do a rose here, poppy there, and then maybe a few over here. Now let's add our targets and obviously our fletching table, because that would be super helpful. Let's test how good my aim is. Whoa. Oh my gosh, I thought that was a perfect bullseye. Let me try that again. Wow, would you look at that? So we had a bunch of villagers that had no profession yet, just wandering around, and I think one of them just walked right up to the fletching table and immediately took the job, so that's great. And what is that? Is that a nitwit? Okay, well, I guess this guy is here. I don't know why. I don't even think he knows why. I guess my they might have a kid theory is just working. And you know what? I know he's not technically a villager with a profession, but he is one of the existing villagers, so I guess he does belong here. Sorry, I'm just talking about him literally behind his back. Anyways, next room. Obviously, we need a library for the librarian. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, so that is what we're doing now. I also feel like all castles in general should have a library. Like, they are so atmospheric, especially in the big old stone buildings like this one. It's kind of giving dark academia, right? Can you guys tell that this is important to me? I'm just marking out where I want to put all of the bookcases first, and then I'm going to go back around and add all of the extra details. Although I have added the lecterns already, and I think these two guys, oh, well, I thought they would be interested, but it looks like they're just enjoying being unemployed for a little bit longer. I feel like I should probably do these back a block, which is so annoying because that means I have to craft these again if I run out. All right, let's do a little table right here and then some chairs. Oh, we have our librarian. Welcome. And then let's fill in these gaps with our cabinets. And then maybe we do like a little center, like conference table, hangout type. Let's go for a couple of these up here. Oh, I want them facing the other way. Let's do this and this. And then we're going to go for the thick ones. And let's do the same on top of these ones. Now, the question is, do we do this and then this for the wall trims, or do we just do this all the way down? I feel like that all the way down makes more sense. So let me get rid of that. Does it? I don't know. I'm also going to add some roof trim into these spaces, and then this all the way along. Surprised I can reach that far, actually. Then let's add some lanterns back in because it is getting pretty dark in here. And of course, let's add some of these book stacks, which I absolutely love. I feel like this area here is just asking for a bunch of these. And to be honest, I feel like these gaps here need this little trim thing going on too. So let me get rid of this lantern and add those in. And finally, let's add some flowers to these plant pots. I discovered recently that these little ones can go on the little parapet things, if that's even how you pronounce that. And it may be the best discovery of my life because I thought it was only just these little ones that could. And whilst that's very cute, I just love that there's different variations now because there's also different variations of this type of flower pot. So very, very cool. Okay, I think that might be our library completed. Maybe my favorite room so far? What about you? It seems like your favorite room so far. What do you want? Okay, cool. He was just saying thank you for making the best room in the castle so far. What you looking at? I guess that's a pretty nice view. I was just about about to head to bed. This guy is in the wrong place. Where did the guy go? Has he gone back to bed? Of course he has. You're in the wrong bed. I guess it doesn't matter as long as he doesn't change professions, but it does matter that he's left the door open and all of the sheep have escaped. So, yeah, let's wrangle these back in. We'll go to bed and head out for some more materials in the morning. I headed back to the mines in search of stone, coal, and iron. I also picked up a couple more diamonds to upgrade and repair some of my tools. And once I had collected enough, I looted a nearby village for a brewing stand and a couple more bookshelves. I then gathered more wool, spruce, and dark oak and crafted some chests. Then it was job block time, specifically a cartography table. I also managed to score a cauldron, and once this was all done, I headed back to our castle. I'm gonna put the cartographer all the way up in the tower because I think they would like to have one of the best views in the castle to work on their maps. Also because I think these lower floors are much better suited to the more manual professions, because if I was a blacksmith, I would not want to go up all of this ladder or up a bunch of stairs to get to work. So I'm thinking we keep it pretty straightforward. We'll do a couple of cabinets here, add in a couple drawers here, and then basically just do a bunch of bookshelves. And then in this space, we can add our cartography table and a little chair to make it look like a good workspace. And then let's also add in some bookshelves up here and on this side. Ooh, perfect amount. Okay, I actually just really quickly flip this so that we have a little bit more space to work with here. And I'm thinking we go with a little table here because I have this really cute treasure map, which obviously just fits the vibe perfectly. Let's add our little inkwell. And then I've also got a couple of other little relevant decorations. Oh, do I want that to face that way? I feel like I want it to face sideways. Should probably get my pickaxe out for that. Okay, super cute. Then we have this telescope, which is so adorable. So I'm gonna have to go for a little walk around, see if there's any unemployed villagers hanging about, and give them a job. And keep them trapped up in the tower like Rapunzel, I guess. I can't seem to find any, but I'm hoping maybe there's one hiding up in this other tower. Excuse me. Oh, okay, perfect. This guy already wants to be locked in a tower, so I guess we'll take him and put him up in the cartographer tower and give him a job. I love hitting my head on the way down. All right, moment of truth. Can we climb a ladder whilst holding a villager? Yes, we can. All right, hope you like your new job. Oh, is he able to take the job? It looks like he's interested, but he's not quite taking it. Let me move this out the way. Maybe that's the problem. No? What's going on? What's happening right now? Maybe let me just break it and like trap him in maybe? Why doesn't he want this job? I feel like this is a good job and this is a nice room too. Excuse me, thank you. So I don't really have time for this. I do have all the time in the world actually, but like I'd rather not have time for this. He just longs to be back outside. I'm sorry, you have to stay in this tower. All right, I think he took my advice and is now the official cartographer. See, look how cool your outfit is. Why were you even hesitating? I just realized as well I should probably put a bed in here because unfortunately this guy can't leave now. See ya. So for very similar reasons to the cartographer, I'm putting the cleric way up high as well. I feel like they need their privacy and quiet away from the hustle and bustle of the main castle to do their cleric stuff. What do clerics even do? Is it magic? I guess they're brewing potions, so would that be magic? Sorry if running up those stairs made anyone else feel dizzy, because it definitely made me feel dizzy. Also, yes, this is the room that I just stole a villager from, so technically I probably should have kept him up here to become our cleric, but it's fine. I opted to add in these two flower workbenches because I feel like a cleric would use those, right? Like they would be like growing certain flowers and whatnot to add to their potions, and yeah, I just feel like it fits the vibe. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's add some of my trusty pillar trims. Looking cute. And then in this space here, let's do our brewing stands. Very nice. Okay, over here, I have a little idea, but I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna work. So I'm gonna start by adding in these two cabinets and then a campfire, and then either side we'll do some of these. I know it's kind of a fire hazard to put a fire right next to all of this wood, but sometimes we can take risks for the sake of aesthetic. Why did I say that so weird? Aesthetic. I have one of these weird little base logs, which I think just fits the vibe perfectly too. And then we're going to use more of these things and then fill in all of these gaps with these shelves so that we can make it look like there are like books and other fun stuff on these shelves. Let's go for that. I feel like that looks potion-y. I am actually not sure what these are meant to be, but they look good. So Doesn't matter what they are actually. Okay, and if you're wondering what the heck this is for, I thought this would be a cool place to hang our cauldron. Make it look like it's being cooked up down here. I'm just hoping the cauldron doesn't affect the villagers, but I think once they have the job here, they shouldn't take this profession. So there's not really much space to put anything else of like furniture wise, so I'm just thinking we should decorate with some of these flower pots. So let's do that there. We'll do one of these and one of these, and then I guess we could do with something here. I also have these things called item shelves, and I'm not entirely sure how they work. I guess they're just gonna look kind of like item frames, but I have these glass bottles, so I guess we can see what they do. Oh, that's kind of fun. I unfortunately don't have any actual potions to put in them, but I feel like it still works. Let's also add one of these there, and maybe one up here, and then I'll make another one to go here. But first, let me add a pot to this one, and then we'll do this and this. We can add our plants. Oh, okay, I can't put little plants in the big pot, so I'm going to take that down. We'll do this one and then that one. And then over here, let's do the poppy. Oh, I've done the same thing again. Actually, I think I want to make this one the cornflower. All right, I would say that is our cleric tower complete. All that's left to do is find another jobless villager. Hopefully, the villagers have been busy, but I may have to return to the other village to steal someone. Well, it looks like someone's been busy. But can a baby become a cleric? I guess we're gonna find out. I'm gonna presume it will only get a profession when it grows up, but I guess it doesn't hurt to carry him all the way up the stairs and lock him in the room and wait for him to grow up. Gosh. Oh, why did that feel faster on the way back up? Fancy it? Can I feed it? That piece of bread was almost bigger than the child. I also love that the child is just a sized down, full-sized villager. Actually, I guess human children are like that too, but like this is just straight up a villager smaller. Okay. You're loving the bread. Could you grow up maybe? Oh my gosh, why was that such a jump scare? I did not expect that to actually happen that fast. Okay, I don't think I need a bed up here because technically this guy will just go downstairs and find a bed maybe, but just in case, he has a bed here. Is that everyone? I feel like that's everyone. Let me check my notes. That was the last one. I guess we could also add baker because that was a little extra that we got. All right, well that is all the villagers, but it is not all of the build. So since we did put a couple of things on the castle grounds and not inside the castle, I want to add some walls around the whole thing just to keep everything really contained. It's also occurred to me that this will be a pretty good zombie deterrent when we get lighting in here at least. I guess either way, the zombies are going to spawn within the castle grounds, but you know, when we have some lighting and everything, the wall will stop them from getting in from the outside. Okay, that's pretty much the whole thing marked out. So now I've just got to fill in the entire wall. Gotta remember to also switch blocks. I almost did the entire thing just in this kind of block. Okay, I'd say that's the wall pretty well filled in. Now I just need to run along and add all of these stripped spruce wood blocks. Oh my gosh, that's almost a tongue twister. Just realized I was forgetting to place all of these slab blocks. So let's run back and do that real quick before we jump off of this wall. And that is our wall complete. I was thinking I would bring it around the entire area, but I feel like because all of this is surrounded by water, we don't really need that extra protection. So gonna cut myself a job there and let's go get some more materials. I set out armed with a shovel looking for dirt and moss. I then headed underground to top off my stone and cobblestone, as well as my coal and iron. Once that was sorted, I gathered some more spruce and dark oak wood, as well as spruce saplings and oak saplings. I grabbed some gravel for coarse dirt and then called it a day. All right, we're back. It's time to lock in and finish up the paths, lighting, and signs, so that everything has a place to go, and then we can do the final details. Shoveling all the dirt is obviously not a very fun task, but adding the paths in general is honestly such a therapeutic process. Also, the paths really help make the build feel like it belongs here rather than just a random cold grey structure plopped in the middle of a field. It like connects everything together, making the build feel more intentional, like it's part of the world rather than just something that's dropped out of the sky. So for lighting, I'm going to go for the same sort of style as what we did on the dock here. Pretty much just going to go 1, 2, 3, add one of these, add one of those, and then we will add a lantern. Super simple, but I feel like we don't need anything too fancy going on for the lighting because we have this looking very fancy. And we don't want anything out here to take away from our incredible castle build. Alright, now let's run around and add some signs just in case nobody can figure out what is what. Fisherman or fishermen? Fisherman. Probably just the one. There's only one here, right? This guy's a fisherman. Oh, there's two. We'll leave it as the singular. Then we've got our farmer, our shepherd, and I've tried my best to have everything labeled kind of correctly towards the right direction, but it's pretty hard to do. And now I'm just finishing up these leaves for these custom trees that I've done. I feel like I don't want them to be too much different to like a normal tree, but I feel like it just makes a big difference to have a couple custom trees at least, because a lot of the oak trees especially just look super boring, and the birch trees, like they're just all the same. So always good to add in a little bit of variety with these custom trees. And now it's the part of the video where I run around, add a few extra details, and plant a bunch of trees. I also feel like it would be appropriate to cover this place in a bunch of these lovely pillar trims. I don't know if you've ever heard of them or if I've ever spoken about them before, but they are very cute. Oh, I don't know if doing that all the way down is going to make it feel a bit too... No, I like it. All right, I think we are safe to say we're done. As Millie and I walked through the halls of the castle early in the morning, the sounds of its inhabitants waking up to start the day could be heard. From the courtyard to the low kitchens and forge, to the tallest tower study. We had created a functional castle for every single villager job in Minecraft. My name is Em, this is Millie, and you have all been amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you're subscribed so I can hang out with you in the next video.